Hey everyone, this is regarding your week 5 capstone case study assignment. So you have your capstone case study worksheet, the Trailblazer audit form for reference, which looks like this, the Community General Hospital CDM spreadsheet, the UB04 and CMS 1500 claim forms like that. So, and then also the 3M encoder, you'll need to have that ready. So if you go in here, first of all, you're going to read this inpatient capstone case, a patient with a mass in the right breast. So there's your diagnosis: lesion of the right breast, nodule in the left axilla. You've got your pre-op and post-op diagnosis, and the operation, the operative notes. Pathological findings, pathological diagnoses. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is assign the ICD-10 codes for this. So principal diagnosis, secondary, and then the procedure codes for this. Okay, so the first code that will be assigned is N60.11. And that is diffuse cystic mastopathy of right breast. Your secondary code right here is going to be I889 or I88.9, but when you're putting it in the 3M encoder, it will be I889. And then the principal procedure for this, so the I889 is nonspecific lymphadenitis. And then the principal procedure for this is excision of cyst, fibroadenoma, or benign or malignant tumor. That was the principal procedure that was done here. That will have a modifier added to it. These secondary procedures, so you've got biopsy in the lymph node, which was the axillary node, what they talked about. This first one, the 38525 right here, that will also have a modifier. But when you look in here, this is one that is talking about a deep excision. And the other one, the 38500, this is also a biopsy or excision of the lymph node. This one is an open or superficial one. So if you scroll back up here and you look at the procedure, it talks about a superficial lymph node excision, and it talks about another larger lymph node with a much deeper excision. So you want to make sure that you have those ones both listed. Okay, scrolled too far down. There we go. So, of course, the 38525 is the more intense procedure, so we're listing that first. Okay. So you have those. And this next part, step 2, you're using that Trailblazer form that we looked at to find the E&M code there. And then after you complete that table, respond to the following. So they're saying that these codes were assigned. Based on what we just found, were these codes correct or incorrect, and why or why not? So you'll do that. And then step 3, you're using your 3M encoder, and you're going to do the APC, you're going to find the APC codes for these. So just like we had done with the previous assignment, we're going to bring up our 3M encoder here. For this situation, the patient was 31 years old, if you look back up here. 31-year-old patient. So if we go back down here to step 3 here, and go back to the encoder, patient was 31, leave the dates the same, and this probably popped up with the DRG finder, but you want it to be on the APC finder because this is an outpatient claim. Okay, so our first diagnosis, we're going to enter what we had just typed in. And again, no decimals here. Okay, add another diagnosis. Okay. And then we are going to add our procedures that we had found. So 19120 was our first procedure. Our second one is 38525. And then our third one is 38500. Okay, so once we've got all those in there, we're going to click compute. And again, this is a hospital outpatient claim. You can just click OK or close out of that. Okay, so now it is giving us the APC that is associated with each of our CPT codes. So if you go back there, for 19120, the APC code is 05091. Okay, so you'll do that for your secondary procedure as well. And then you're going to go to step 4, which is identifying revenue codes by using this Community General Hospital resource right here. Okay, so this is still in this inpatient example that we're using. So they're saying, what is the revenue code used for the anesthesia? So this one's a little difficult to find. How I find it is, so anesthesia, we're going to type in this, and then this was an OB procedure. Whoops, I've got it singled down. Okay, here we go. And if you have Excel and you find it easier to freeze the panes, which is like this top row right here, that way you can see it no matter how far you scroll down, you can do that. I can't do it right now because I just have a starter kit for Excel, but you can do that if you are using 365 or Excel. So that just makes it easier to find these columns. So this is the one that we're going to use, anesthesia for the OB procedure that she had done, and this is our revenue code that we're going to use is 0370. And it's asking about the HCPCS code if there is any, and I believe this would be in this column and there is none, so we're just going to skip that part. The next one it talks about on the list is the revenue code for sutures. Well, if you go back up here to the procedure and look to see what was done, we used sutures and it looks like they were this VICRYL type of suture. So if you go back here, let's just try suture. You've got plain sutures, and then you've got this type of suture, which was the one that was done in the procedure. So with this one, the revenue code is 0270. So scrolling back down here, 0270. Okay, forceps. Okay, so for this one, we need to go back up and look at that procedure again to see what kind of forceps were used. So if we just, whoops, make it a little easier here. Okay, superficial lymph nodes were picked up with, looks like ALLIS forceps. So we could look for that in here. So I don't see it, but if you look at all the forceps, so if you, this one, they're all in the same revenue code area. So it really doesn't matter which one you choose because they all have the same revenue code. So 0270 is the one that we're going to choose here. Okay, and then you'll also do it for that one as well. So after identifying those, you're going to use this Blue Cross Blue Shield site, and you're going to basically type in what the description that they give is. So for example, this is what it looks like. So if you're looking at the anesthesia revenue description, it's basically anesthesia. So if we go back here, so that one's just going to be anesthesia. Easy enough. So you can also look for it this way. So like we found that by looking just anesthesia up, but you can look on there for the 0370, and it might be in a code range as well. So again, we found it here, but it's still anesthesia. So either way, so this one, you can just say anesthesia for that one. And you'll look up the other ones just like that. And then step 5, complete a UB04 claim form for the above scenario using the table below. The face sheet for the scenario is provided here for your reference. This is just like what we did for our previous assignment, where we're looking at the record and we're putting everything that would be in that UB04 claim into these fields. So again, this for your reference, you have those blank UB04 forms right here to show you exactly what's needed in each of those categories. So you'll do that, and then you'll go on to outpatient capstone case, and you'll do exactly the same thing for that one that we just did in this process. Let me know if you have any other questions.